I'm going to be recording this one specifically, and I'm going to go slow with it tonight so y'all make sure y'all pick up all the details you need to.
Is this actual server 2008, or are we getting into Windows 7?
No, I want you to do server.
Okay.
Or whatever you have for this particular class that's underneath. Script.
All I got is just five things that say Rose Lab cluster, and it just has.
Go under the one that has. You have a one that's on. This is going to be Rose script programming. Because yours is right here. You're actually in a suspend state.
Should I kind of change the structure for the students?
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot more than y'all do.
Well, I mean, like last week it had one that was like scripts, and then it had a server under there, and then it had one for my other class with you, and then it had two under there. But now I've just got like Roselex cluster, and then it's got all three servers under all three VMs under it.
Okay, it should just be your last name then. The VM will just have your last name.
Alright, I found it.
Who do we go to reset the passwords for the VM?
I can. Yeah. And John, you need it set for you? Okay.
Can you reset mine too?
Yep. Yours reset to the capital P, password 1. What's your login?
I'm not sure. It's not working when I was trying it, so.
Reset. Anyone else?
You said we're supposed to be doing this with the server, right?
Is it
a Windows 7 machine?
Oh, is it a Windows 7 machine? Well, you can do it with Windows 7. Whatever. Yeah, Windows 7. Sorry. I had it set with the 2008 graphics. Everyone there? Everyone logged in now? Jose, you okay? Yes, Christine?
What do we put for the server name then?
What server name?
I don't know, mine's.
Oh, vc.cyber.rose.edu. What, Jose? Oh, okay. Yeah, VM has been slow today. I wish they wouldn't change things in the middle of the semester on y'all. And when y'all do that, go into control panel. How many of y'all know where control panel is, right? Pretty much everybody. Go to control panel, go to the Windows features, and I want you to expand out IIS and make sure that all these are checked. You okay, John?
I don't know what's going on with this thing.
Oh, is it acting up on you?
I don't know what's going on.
How many of y'all are having problems with Windows 7? What's the matter, Karen?
You said to go to Windows features?
No. Go when you go into programs and features. Well, all control panel, programs features. Then you turn on Windows features on or off.
checked.
Yeah, under IIS, I want everything checked, with the exception of FTP. Do what?
I thought you told me everything checked, so I checked up.
Uncheck FTP, and then it'll uncheck everything below it. Once y'all are done with that, click OK. Let it do its updates.
Things on iOS 6 are going to update to 7.
Nope. I didn't even like 6. I'd rather have 5.
Is that fair enough?
The management console for it is a little screwy.
6 and 7 is all I've ever known.
Yeah. It's been killing. I don't know what they did. You okay?
I think so.
Yeah, don't check FTP, but check everything else underneath
Don't
it.
check FTP?
Nope.
Okay,
A bunch of people are opening it back up.
All it does is turn on the FTP service, but you don't really need it. Not for what we're doing. You okay, Adam? Trevor. There's a pole there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give me a hand with this. I'm really not sure what's going on with anything.
I totally missed it. You said give you a hand. I was trying to give you a hand.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Thank you.
Everyone there okay? Just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. You've all installed IIS now. Well, there maybe Christina. Has everyone got IIS installed? Everyone checked everything, clicked OK, then clicked out of programs and features after you did that? Cool, you just installed your first web server. Boy, y'all are so lively tonight.
I'm excited.
That's another thing you can add on. I know how to install IIS now. Used to, you actually had to pull out the server CD, put it in the server, and then you had to put in those management tools. Then you can read in, put in IIS, because it had to download them from the CD or DVD. Now that they've actually incorporated it with inside the shell, it makes it a lot easier. When you had IIS 5 or earlier, that's how you had to do it. So you could have people like on Windows XP and before could not install IIS on their local machine or on a server without having those disks. So it helped prevent some security vulnerabilities. But now Microsoft just loves to put everything in one shell. So when you're carrying a basket full of eggs, what's the likelihood that one's going to get damaged? If you have one basket with one egg in it with a lot of padding, what's the likelihood it's going to get damaged? Well, it depends on if you're throwing it around or something, but I mean, if you're just carrying it normally, it's not going to break, right? It's be harder to break. That's the philosophy of what the difference between Linux and Windows is. Linux compartmentalizes everything. Windows puts it all eggs in one basket. So that's why Linux systems are more stable. That's why Macs are more stable, because they run on Unix. Did anyone know that? My Unix administrator over here. I was like, where is he in the back? He ain't going to be here to shoot off, and then I realized you're right here. Okay. Now that we have done that, what we're going to do is we're going to open up our IIS Manager. You can do that by going to Start. Let me just close it out to make sure you get the right one. We'll go to Start and just type in IIS down there at the bottom. You'll get two of them. One that says 6.0 Manager, one that says just Manager. Click on the one that says Manager. 6.0 Manager just gives you the MMC snap-in. How many of y'all have had network administration before or are currently in it? Okay. A snap-in is just a management component that can be added in to a folder so you can view it. It's a management tool. This actually is its own container for it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and blow this up by making it bigger, that is, not throwing fireworks at it. Expand everything on the left side here. Everyone should have something similar to what I'm showing up here. Can everyone see that okay? Or don't I see if I can't make this bigger? Does that help a little bit? Is that better? Not, I know it's not the best, but
Can you turn off the lights?
Adam, can you reach over and hit that power switch? Is that better?
Slightly, yeah. I think with my eyes adjusted, we get.
And see if I can't make this a little easier for you to see. View. No. Okay. Basically, if you notice anything with Microsoft, they like to put it in a web browser, right? Notice the toolbar up here? Everything is a web browser. Okay, this is what we call the home directory of the server. All right, Win7 base, or Win7 base home. My computer's called Win7 base. We have application pools, which we can add more to later. We're not going to get into that because this is not an IIS class. If you want to learn more about HTML or CSS, take the HTML CSS class with Donna Wilson. We're concerned about this default website page. Okay? There's just a couple things that we need to talk about first. Remember we were talking about authentication for that website, right? At the beginning of the semester. Here's where you can add in the authentication methods. Authorization rules. What .NET applications have my authorization to run? Does that make sense? If I have an error, like your 500 errors, your 404 errors, how many of y'all have seen those before? Quite a bit, right? These are where I put my error pages. I can also put some down here. Where's the other one? Oh, pages and controls. If I have a .NET profile, .NET users, this is where I can say anyone that has a .NET account can access my system if I'm running just on ASP. All right. SMTP, email. You remember I was showing you all that contact email from the website a couple weeks ago and how it's sent out through a ASP web mailer? This is where that SMTP web mailer is set up. All right. If I have a database that it needs to connect to, a .NET database to an Oracle database or a SQL database, I put my connection strings right here, which gives me all the passwords and everything so I can hide it from those users. So all I have to do is say connect to this connection string, which has the encrypted username and password to go for it to filter all in from here into the database. Does that make sense? So your traffic will come in come into your www root folder. We'll come into here, validate your authentication, and that they have authorization to connect to the database with that connection string, and that connection string will allow it into the database that's on the back side of it. That's if I have it .NET. Now, if I'm looking for my locals, I can change my ASP configurations right here. So if I want to do that, all you have to do is go over here to like basic settings, and it tells me here's my default website, here's my physical path to my root directory, which in this case my system drive. You notice it has the percent signs around that. That is the wild card for Microsoft systems. If you put a percent sign around whatever the identifier is for that, that's a shortcut. Like if I did percent username percent, I can just copy and paste that to any user, anything that with the username, and that username would automatically go through. So I can connect as this, and basically when I have pass-through authentication, that means anonymous people that don't have a authorization or an account can get into my website. Authorization rules and authentication. This is where I can do it locally to the website if I have a secure side of the website versus an unsecured site. You go to a site and it says log in. You go in there and put your credentials in. It validates you through these right here, unless it has it on the back end in the database, which you go up to the ASP level. Or if you're on a PHP, then you can do it through PHP as well. Default document is something that y'all will see or need to know. Notice we have default index is start and default.as or ASPX. All right. In this class, what we're going to do, here's the local host. I'm going to rename this file right here to default.asp, and I'm taking off the HTML. Okay. Now you notice it changed to an active server document versus an HTML document, right? All that is saying I can still, with default ASP, I had the same thing as IIS start. That's the first page it looks for the website. That would be your major template. Okay. So let me go back over here. I can redirect pages if I wanted to. Like I said, this is just a high-level type. If I had a secure socket layer that I want, or make a SSL page, I can add it in here. All right. IP address and domain restrictions. I can prevent certain IPs from coming to my website, like Chinese or Japanese or British or whatever. You know, I can make anything I want to. Directory browsing. I would highly encourage that you turn this off. How many times you go to a site and it just lists everything, all those pages? Have y'all seen that before? Okay. Select. Where is it? Advanced settings. Advanced settings. Here's where I can change my physical path if I wanted to change it to a different location for people to look at. Instead of going to C, INETPub, www-root, because that's the default one. How many of you have learned by now not to take the default from Microsoft? Okay. Always go in here and change it, but right now I'm just going to leave it as it is, but that's where you would change it at, is the advanced settings. Do what?
How did you get to advanced settings?
Right over here on the right side, underneath browse. It's right here.
For directory browsing?
Yeah, you got to click on directory browsing. And
No. That's not for directory browsing. This is just, these are their own.
Oh.
I was talking about directory browsing, that you want to have it turned off.
I don't have all that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Do you have to open things up or something?
You have to select one of these blocks?
You guys have to click default web browser. Or
No.
default website.
Yeah, click on default website.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on default website. Are you looking up at here? Is that the one y'all are looking at?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, were you in Win7 base or were you down here in the subfolders?
I was in the cell phone.
Oh, okay.
Win seven base.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't see it.
You need to be on the default website.
Right.
Okay, and that's where the advanced settings are. Bindings, if I wanted to change the website port, y'all know the default port for websites is port 80, right? HTTP traffic. Here's where I can change it, or I can add a different one, or I can click on this one and edit it. Instead of port 80, I can make it go to wherever I want to.
Where's bindings?
Yeah, where was that one? I didn't see it.
Site bindings,
Huh?
under edit site.
Oh,
Okay. Now this is how you do it within this MMC console, but I'm going to show you the easy way to do this. Just right click on the where did it go? Where is it? Manage website. Okay, now I'm getting ticked because I can't find what I was looking for. No. Where's my manage? I should be able to manage it. Oh, right here. On the right hand side, by default it's disabled. But if I enable directory browsing and I go back over to the default web page and I say let's browse it. Come on, it should go to localhost. Okay, here's what this is. This is just the localhost page. Now let's say if I was looking for, that would be your 404 errors now. If you ever get this page, you know you've gotten directly to the internal side. But let's go back over here. So if I make a change on that site, remember we were talking about being inside C, inetpub, www root. You can get there by just clicking on this website and say explore. It takes you right to where your home directory is. Is everyone with me?
Where do you say explore?
Okay, Explore's on the top right where actions are. All you have to do is click on your default website
Got it.
and then click
Okay.
Explore.
I just can't, my eyes can't.
If you right click it, it's
I
also
cannot
the first
find it.
option in the drop down. If you
Okay.
right click on it, it's
Yeah.
the first option there.
Right,
Hey.
there's a lot of repeated things.
Yes.
Gotcha, okay.
Okay, so now we're here. Notice we have default ASP, right? That's our web page that we're dealing with.
I don't have default ASP.
What do you?
I have,
I have ASP client, ISS start,
Okay,
welcome PNG.
I changed IIS start to default.asp a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
do we need to do that too?
You don't have to. I was just showing you that's where when we're looking at the default browsing pages, the default page, you can make it title any one of those. I changed it to default ASP because we're going to be coding the website in ASP. Okay, so go ahead and right click on IIS start.html or .htm, Right click on it, go to rename, and change it to default.asp. Bless you. Everyone there now?
It's not quite wanting to work. Default.asp. Deletes HTML
It
document.
does still leave it as an HTML document. That's weird. Mine changed immediately.
Oh, his left is an HTML document?
Yeah, it kept it. He changed it, and it says default.asp, but it's still.
View, expand to show all file types and delete the file type extension .htm.
Over the Microsoft Expression Web 4.
Huh?
It's supposed to open Microsoft Expression Web 4.
No. I mean, if you open it by default, it will, but I want you to go down here to open with. Well, I want you to open it with Notepad. Once y'all got it renamed, right click, go to open with. A box will pop up which you want to open with, expand it down and go to Notepad. Because it'll open it up in TextPad.
So once we've changed it, now we do what?
Once you change the name on it, right click on it and open it with TextPad.
No,
Well, open it with Notepad, but it'll take you to TextPad. Don't ask me why I did that. It should have just opened it in Notepad, but it took me right to TextPad.
Say if you look underneath the open with option, it says text.
Does it say open TextPad or just TextPad?
It says open with ... and then below that you have text pad.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I was just looking for open with. All right. Now, with our default ASP page, this is all the code that's on there right now. That's it. All 32 lines. Now, what I want to do is, you notice we have this JavaScript right here. I want you to all I did was, first off, you see where I have document 1, document 2, and document 3 up here?
Nope.
Just right above where all this is, I created by just clicking new document 3 times. Okay?
gotcha.
So what I'm
I
going
don't
to,
see the JavaScript though. Where's the JavaScript?
it's the one here in the blue. I'm sorry, it's not JavaScript, it's
Yeah,
a
what-
style. It's a CSS style sheet.
What does it start with? What number?
Line 6.
Line 6? Okay.
6 to 25.
That's JavaScript?
No. I said JavaScript, but I meant to say style sheet.
Okay.
That's why you see style.text CSS.
That's why I was confused,
Yeah.
because I didn't see any scripting.
Yeah, that was my bad. I'm just looking at it wrong. Okay, we have default.asp. Document 1. I want to save document 1 and do a save as when it comes up. Notice we're saving it into that directory in which we were already in. Let's call this style.css. Okay. So now what I can do is I can come back here to my default.asp page. I can do my Control X, which eliminates it out of there, cuts it. Come over here to my style.css, hit Control V. All right. Then I'll save both pages. But right here, what do we have to do? Now that we've... All I did was cut and paste.
Okay,
Point it to the style.
Do what?
Point it to the style.css.
Yes, I named that document style.css.
Yeah, but that's what you want to do when you get to there, right? Just point it to the style.css is what you're...
Yes, and I'm going to point it to it. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do... open my brace, or my greater than symbol. Well, actually, it's less than symbol. Give it the or the pound sign, or not the pound sign, exclamation point. Can't talk tonight. Dash dash the pound sign, and I'll type include. Then I'm going to say what am I including? I'm going
You
to
can increase the font size. I can't see that. I'm in the second row. I'm sure people on me can't see it either.
where was it? Properties, font.
So I think you have to. You get it.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that better? Now let's see if I can't
That's
make
a
it.
lot better.
I want to see if I can't make it bold for you.
Control B not working.
No, you got to do it here. See if I can't do 20.
Damn. That's
In your
now-
face.
Now let's see if I
see
can't.
it.
Oh,
Okay, so what did you put in? The dash sign? What?
well, I was right here.
After line 5.
I'm on line 6. Where when you cut it out, it just gave you that line for 6 showing, hey, something's missed here.
Oh, the default.
Yes, I'm back on the default page because I'm going to type in the includes file, so I'm showing how it pulls it back in.
So it's pointing to the style bus.
Yes. So now I have my file. I'm going to equal it, and then I'm just going to open it style.css because we're still in the same directory level as the other page. And then, yeah, because I called it CSS, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then you have to close it out. All right. See, this is all the includes file it is. It's just saying I'm including this file of style CSS. So now I can save this document. Now I know it's running over here. I wish I'd remember how to word wrap it.
That's how we got in trouble with the book. Let's just keep it on one line at a time.
Yeah. Well, I want to make sure I can word wrap it so it's easier to see.
Yeah, we can scroll.
Word wrap along lines. Checked. Anyway, now that we've got it in here, notice we have it right here on line 6, right? I've saved my file. Now I can come back here to my browser. When it loads up. And anytime you're going to check your browser for this for your website, all you have to do is go / localhost. Not a file. See? Worked. It's just that line, and all that line does is say, look for style.css. So it brings in all that code into here. So if I was to come back over here to the website, and I right click on it, and go to view page source,
You get anything?
when you go to view page source, starting in line 6, remember we had taken out all that code and we made that style.css right there. It inputted style.css into this code, so you can't tell if that it's actually 2 separate documents.
But how do you get it into your web browser?
Just type in localhost.
Yeah, that didn't work.
// localhost.
/
Yes. Yeah, because if you do / it comes up with file localhost. Or if you
Backslash.
or you can type 127.0.0.1.
I have an error, so I must have typed something wrong.
Did y'all get?
Is yours all
Did y'all get it?
Is
Could you go back to default?
Yeah, hang on for just a second. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger too.
Was it a Hoover number seven?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, default.
Style.css.
Oh. There's where I'm messed
Did you
up.
put the? Yep. So,
There it goes.
did you save it? Yeah, you did.
You have space in between your last one and that. There's a space
So
in
go back to
between.
your other Firefox.
You've got his as well.
Oh, I didn't put a space in it.
Oh, mine automatically put a space in there.
Seem to do it.
Well, with a space, it doesn't.
Don't hit the space. It automatically put that extra in there. I just hit dash dash and then closed it out.
An exclamation point right after the,
The less than symbol? Yes.
yeah.
Get rid of the space up in the
No, it's over there. Something's
Yeah.
just-
Oh. Did you save it? Vic?
So if everyone's with me, what we're going to do is I want to go back to the style.css sheet. And notice we have the background color
//
right here of the B3, B3, B3.
No, it's backslash.
Just change it to one. Change it to any hexadecimal you want of those 6 hexadecimals. We're going to save it
I'm getting a
and refresh it.
web page cannot be displayed.
Do it. The // See, that's what she got.
Yeah, it's not wanting to.
She's getting the same error.
Maybe try it in IE.
Yours wasn't saved?
Oh yeah, save yours as well.
It says, please load no.
I guess. She said hers wasn't saved. She got the same error. So make sure you go file save. Save that. Okay. Yeah.
127. Dot 0, dot 0,
Yes.
dot 1.
That should be it. Should be it.
Did you save the new code?
Oh.
Huh.
Oh, now it's not. There's no.
Yeah, you didn't save it.
No, it's
Oh,
the
I
same
didn't
thing.
save it once I did
Well, I
that.
know it.
Yeah.
Now,
That's probably why. It's a big stick. Good.
Looks like it doesn't want to.
See, it's not showing it. When he said, when he clicked,
Did you
it
still have?
showed everything that we cut out. And see, oh, I know why.
Right click on the stuff. Score again.
mine just added that extra space around on one.
Default. Yeah. Maybe change that D to a capital.
Supposed to do that.
Change it all.
That's why.
I know. I don't know what else. I'm just trying to troubleshoot. I don't know. I know thing one about web servers.
Marshall, you get it?
Now.
No, it should work. There you go. Yep, type in localhost. Yep, get it.
Yeah, it was in your style, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she got her. She did, she said she did. I know, I figured.
Are you clicking on
Hey, Rose,
So everyone got it?
No, she needs the bell.
Bam, now it's working.
Network security up there.
I know automatically add it to space, I don't know why. Then you should be able to go to local.
I can't get to that.
Oh, in your actual machine.
Well, it added that extra space and then take that extra space out. Okay, now save that.
Because, are you saying in your inside the actual host machine, not the virtual machine? You can't do that.
I copied it.
No, that's fine.
And I think
Just making sure that it's saved.
most classes had it out there.
Just have it posted in with that.
Everybody, most classes had it out.
Or when you click outside the virtual machine?
Yeah, it tripped everyone up. I don't, it added that extra
I
space.
have
and
no
then
idea why that works.
That
That makes no sense. That's like VLAN jumping. I don't get that.
When I do it in here.
Oh, when you do it in there, it doesn't work when we, because you're actually doing the IIS for your local machines. Local machines have IIS on it.
Python.
Because if you notice, if you go to open up localhost here, now right click on it. Go to inspect element. Notice it's,
Because they have two different agreements for the same.
I didn't think it would matter. I saw the space. I was like, oh, what's it's not gonna break because of the space. I guess it's,
anyway, this is actually inside.
I like that green color.
There was somewhere, I don't remember off the top of my head where you can actually see
I
what the
just
file
pressed
name
all
was.
of them. What is
Show
that?
you the
Zero, zero.
Oh, you just press, okay.
So if you
Yeah,
could,
try some
go ahead and close
colors.
that out for now.
Okay, just
Zero,
can't-
zero,
Sometimes
one,
it's really
zero.
confusing here. Go ahead, let's look at your default.asp.
How many numbers?
Page,
Six. Six numbers of
Tuesday
that.
up one.
Numbers two.
Yeah, okay.
does it add extra space in here? Now save it, and then open up localhost inside your page. All right, everybody. One thing I want to show you about on TextPad here, and it's what got a lot of you, is when you're in default, if these tags are not blue, below that code, it's the line that's right above it has an error in it. Okay, could be a spacing error, could be you need a quote, and you put something else in there, a single quote versus a double quote, or that's your key. For some reason, I know mine looks a little different, and I don't know why, but when I hit this, it adds that extra space in there. So y'all are all putting that extra space in there,
And it wasn't working.
and it wasn't working. It has to be dash dash and then the close of it. But
So
see,
why, do you know why yours puts that extra space?
I have no idea. Is that right there?
And it automatically jumps it to right there. But it doesn't count it wrong, which is weird.
No, it does.
Wrong.
When it's right there, you notice how everything below this now.
I think it was B3, B3, B3.
Well, I'm just saying with the space in yours, it counts
See-
it right, but if you put a space in ours, it counts it wrong.
See, now I intentionally.
No, no, let's change that. Oh, I changed the wrong one.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, this is space.
Okay. Notice I put that extra space in there now. Everything below it is the same color as that text. That's your key and saying, oh my goodness, something is wrong on this line. So if I come back up here, say, okay, I need to take away that extra space. Now everything down here turned to its regular color. Now you know you're right. Yes, Marshall.
Mine doesn't have the call off and it did run just fine. It's
Well,
more,
some text pads like this one, I don't know why it's different than everyone else's out there. That's what's throwing me for a loop. Why they added that space in there. See, mine just automatically added it. I don't know if it's because the font changer. I bet it's the font change.
Yeah, because you increased
Because
the
I
font
increased it
up
and y'all
20,
didn't.
So yeah, the font, that's not a real space, it's just ink blown up.
So, anyway, that's how you do your includes. Does anyone have any questions on includes?
In front of the exclamation point.
And then what we'll talk about a little bit more next week, we'll come in here and we're going to start talking about style sheets. And we're going to come in here and we're going to change the style sheets, put in some hyperlinks and make them change colors and do funky things. That's what you can do from style sheet. You notice like when you change the color, the background color of that, it changed the background color of that BMP, right? The bitmap file. And then that's how you do it. This means I have an anchor tag, so if I have an image, it's not going to show that border around it. How many times have you seen an image and it has like a blue border around it? That if you click on it, it goes to a hyperlink. That's what this says. It won't do it. So you'll just get the image. And that's how you get rid of it. But we'll go on and do a lot more with style sheets next week. Is everyone okay with that? Everyone kind of understand what's going on now? That's why I gave you this sheet. Now we have server-side includes. If you're going to include a file, you can include a virtual style sheet or server-side include. You can include JavaScripts. You can include ASPs or PHPs. You're going to need to know all these so as we go further on these on this website. Everyone okay with that? Is everyone cool?
Yeah.
Y'all feel like you learned something tonight?
Yes.
I should have done this week 1.
That's what I was.
Why don't y'all tell me this sooner? Guess what? The next class is going to get that benefit because what's working in here is going to be working from then on out. But I want to make sure that we start getting the information to you that you need. Okay? And once we do what?
Right.
Hey,
Thank you
if-
for changing instead of.
I want y'all to be able to learn. You've got to tell me from a student to me as a professor how you best learn. That I will change whatever needs to be done to make sure that you learn. Because you're paying to learn. I'm unlike any other instructor around. I feel anyway. I've never had an instructor that would change his course or her course to make sure I learned. But I want you to make sure you get this information because you're going to need it. So if there's something you feel that you want to see more of or less of in the class, please let me know. That's the only way I can change to make it better for you. All right? Sorry it was so late in the semester that we got this going, but at least we got this going now. So all these are going to be recorded so you can go back and you can look at everything we did here and listen to it over and over so that you get this idea and play around with it this week. Document 2 and Document 3. Add a couple more, take a couple more of these places out of default. Like take the bottom here from the HTML. Because underneath body we'll have what we call a footer section where you have all these about us, contact us, in real small fine print down at the bottom of every page. That's what we call a footer. We can call that footer and create a page for footer and do the includes here. We're going to have an includes for the menu section when we do the JavaScript menu. Then we're going to have, so the only thing that you're really going to have on default is you're going to have the body tag to the body tag. I want you to create on your own this week, from here up, a header file, header.asp, but copy it over like you did with this for includes. And make it includes header.asp.
So would that be like what we do for document 2? Just
Yeah.
title it header.asp.
Title it header.asp.
And then we're-
Copy this over. Now notice we'll have an include inside of an include. Is that going to screw something up? No. Because what it does is it first puts this in there and says, oh, I've got an include. Now I'm even going to put more text in here. That's how it processes it. I could have infinite files being nested inside of each other. And it'll still work.
Do we start that at line 3? Or
No,
what?
start it at 1 and go down to 7. That whole thing, I want it to be called header.asp. So I want y'all to work on that this week.
And then we do an include statement like you've got in 6.
Right.
And, okay.
And
So
call
the
that
only thing on
header.asp.
The only
So
thing
whatever
on-
whatever you name this page would be
Okay, that-
whatever you put there for your file name. Because you're looking to that file to get the information out of that file to repost back into here. That's all you're doing.
So at the end, you'll have like 8 lines on the default page? 'Cause
Pretty
that
much,
whole-
yes.
Yeah.
And then once we have that done, we have our structure. Then all you're doing is just copying. Then you literally copy the page in multiple times and just rename them to whatever you want. And everything's already there. All you have to do is change what's inside of your body on each page. And we'll work on that next week along with a little bit of style sheets. We're going to add like 10 pages and we'll call each one what's going to be on those pages. Okay?
So it's easy to follow.
So that's what we've got. Any questions? All right. Well, y'all have a wonderful week.
So, for the Monday class, we're pretty well going through and matching up the STIG with the 2 websites that you gave us, right? And then just making like a text document and leaving it on the desktop for the next 2 weeks.
Hang on for just a second. I was just going ahead and getting stuff done that y'all are going to be.
Fine.
Okay. Power this off. Alrighty.
I noticed that you had the date set up for Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
I need to look at them again. When is...
When's the first one?
Yeah, I missed it, didn't I?
Nope, Saturday.
Not this Saturday.
Yes.
Me and Adam have to go get equipment, HVAC equipment.
The next one will be the 26th.
Okay, yeah, Saturday morning. Well, if he's gonna check with his dad. Yeah. Oh, thank you. He's gonna check with his dad. If he can